कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविता शाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलं वाल्मीकिर्मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं को न याति परां गतिम् यः पिबन् सततं रामचरितामृतसागरम् अदृप्तस्तं मुनिं वन्दे प्राचेतसमकल्मषम् गोष्पतीकृतवाराशिं मशकीकृतराक्षसं रामायणमहामाला रत्नं वन्दे नीलात्मजम् अञ्जनानन्दनं वीरं जानकी शोकनाशनं कपीशम् अक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करम् मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूतमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारी परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकं वाल्मीकिगिरिसम्भूता रामसागरगामिनी पुनादिभुवनं पुण्या रामायणमहानदी वेदवेद्ये परे पुंसि जाते दशरथात्मजे वेदप्राचेतसादासीत् साक्षात् रामायणात्मना आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः मङ्गलं कौसलेन्द्राय महनीय गुणाब्धये चक्रवर्ती तनूजाय सार्वभौमाय मङ्गलम् सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय If you go by the advice of Tara and others, they will be interested only in survival. And therefore, they would enjoy once they are into the cave. But you know, the power of Lakshmana's arrows, he will come in search of you, and when he is thus ready to attack, even a movement of even a small grass will threaten you. Trinadavi bayod udvignaha spandamanat. Trinat spandamanat abhi bayat udvignaha bhavishyasi. You will become, and thus creating fear. The methodology of Veda as a strategy in the mind of a person is to create certain fear and show the dire consequences of situation. Thereby the person will hesitate to take the decision. That is what it's being done by Hanuman here. And continuing here in verse number 19. Jatu na himsyutvam
न च जातु न हिंस्युत्वाम्
Ghora Lakshmana Sayakaha
घोरा लक्ष्मणसायकाः
Apravrittam Vidam Santaha
अपवृत्तं जिघांसन्तः
Apravrittam Jigam Santaha
अपवृत्तं जिघांसन्तः
Mahavega Durasadaha
महावेगादुरासदाः
Asmabhistu Gatam Sardam
अस्माभिस्तु गतं सार्धं
Vinitavad Upastitam
विनीतवदुपस्थितम्
Anupurvatu Sugrivo
आनुपूर्व्यात्तु सुग्रीवो
Rajate Tvam Stapayishyati
राज्ये त्वां स्थापयिष्यति
Rajaye, right?
राज्ये
Raji, okay, Raji. Dharmaraja Pitrun Yaste Pitruvyaste. Yeah. Dharmaraja Pitruvyaste
धर्मराज पितृव्यस्ते
Pritikamo Dridavratah
प्रीतिकामो दृढव्रतः
Shuchis Satyapradigyascha
शुचिस्तत्यप्रतिज्ञश्च
Tattvam Jatuna Nashayet
सत्त्वां जातु न नाशयेत्
Priyakamasate Matuhu
प्रियकामश्च ते मातुः
Tadartam Chasya Jeevitam
तदर्थं चास्य जीवितम्
Tasyapatyam Cha Nastyanyat
तस्यापत्यं च नास्त्यन्यत्
Asmadangadagamyatam
तस्मादङ्गदगम्यताम्
Lakshmana Sadakaha Goraha Saha Jatu Na Himsyuhu Tvam. Meaning, that very set of arrows which are going to be used by the Lakshmana, those apravrittam, turning away, without turning away, najatu apravrittam, but himsihu ever. Here to be, na himsihu should not be taken up. Tvam goraha lakshmana sadakaha apravrittam jikam santaha. So himsihu na apravrittaha. Apravrittam. And they are, those arrows are mahagoraha, mahavegaha durasadaha. And they are of the great speed and extremely difficult to overcome. And once it is aimed and shot, they cannot be returned. So, the very interesting thing is, you might have seen in the Ramayana, our Ram Sagar, or somebody took Ramayana. They go such speed, and then they change their nature also. They become snake, they become fire, sort of things. These arrows they are like missiles nowadays, guided missiles. Guided missiles are those who can be guided where to go. They may aimed at to be somewhere else, but they have an electronic system within. They have a chip inside. The chip inside will be constantly communicating with the origin, or where it originates from. Like what we have nowadays, these drones. But drones can be changed and brought back, etc. But they are meant for taking movies or pictures. these missiles are launched, they will not come back, but they will go and attack, and the directions are given from the ground. Unlike the older models where one shot, you lost your control over that. But now missiles are those. So those times they had these missiles. They tell whom to attack. So they will go look for that person and then go and attack. So that kind of a thing. They were very advanced. Asmabhistu gatam sardam vinidavat upastitam. And see, the thing is, here he has to assure him that Sugriva is not as you think it is, he is. So, along with us, Sardam, Asmabhihi Sardam, along with us, Vinidavat Upastidam Gatam, when you go with a certain humility, and if you go to Sugriva, Anupurvyatu, when you go with a certain amount of, as he said, with the proximity of Sugriva and with a certain humility, etc., being you as the successor. Anupurvya means being a successor. Tvam rajye stapayishyati. He will crown you as the king. Because who else? Dharmaraja pitruhu pituhu. Pitruhu suchihi. Pitruvyaste, meaning in the place of your father, he is the one who is there, father being not there. Pritikamaha dridhavrataha. He is a person of love for you. Dridhavrataha suchihi satya pratiknyaha. One who keeps his word, though he lapsed because of his long isolation from the country, and therefore he was no doubt certain times he was lapsing in his words, but otherwise satya pratiknyaha saha tvam jatuna nashayet. He does not destroy you. You have a wrong notion, and that is to be avoided in your mind. Priyakamastate matuhu. And think about your mother. She is so fond of you, and that very love for you, tadartam cha sya jivitam. Asya priyakamasya jivitartam jivitam. She is living only for that purpose only. Or we can otherwise say, asya sugrivaha sya priyakamaha te. And he, te matuhu, and for that mother's love that she has for you, to maintain that only Sugriva is also living. And because Sugriva does not have his own son, tasya apatya cha na anyat. Sugriva also does not have his own son. So, tasmat angada gamyatam. So, please go for that. Now, it's therefore, in this way, he has given his own view. Hanumanji has given his own view. But, Hanuman, Angada, poor thing, he is still under the influence of the tragedy that happened to his father. So he cannot just, this is a chance for him to express that, because he could not do it before. In the presence of Rama, he could not do it. Of course, in presence of Sugriva, he will not do it. Here, he is lamenting again. So, we'll see here. Ityarshya Srimad Ramayane Valmiki Adikavya Kishkindha Kande Chatuspanchashaha Sarga 54. Now 55. Shrutva Hanumato Vakyam
Shrutva Hanumato Vakyam
Prashritam Dharma Samhitam
Prashritam dharma samhitam.
Swami Satkara Samyuktam.
Swami satkara samyuktam.
Angado Vakyam Abravit.
Angado vakyam abravit.
Sairyamatma Manashaucham.
Sairyamatma manas shauryam saucham.
Andrusamsyam Atarjavam.
Andrusamsya matharjavam.
Vikramaschaiva Dhairyam Cha.
Vikramaschaiva dhairyam cha.
Sugrive na upapadyate.
Sugrivena upapadyate.
Bhraturjyeshtasya yo bharya.
Bhraturjyeshtasya yo bharya.
Jivato mahishim priyam.
Jivato mahishim priyam.
Dharmena mataram yastu.
Dharmena mataram yastu.
Svikaroti jugupsitah.
Vikaroti jugupsitah.
Kadam sadharma janite.
Katam sa dharmam janite.
Yena bhratra duratmana.
Yena bhratra duratmana.
Yuddhaya viniyuktena.
Yuddhaya bhiniyuktena.
Vilasya pihitam mukham.
Vilasya pihitam mukham.
Satyat panigrhitascha.
Satyat panigrhitascha.
Kritakarma mahayashaha.
Kritakarma mahayashaha.
Vismruto raghavo yena.
Vismruto raghavo yena.
Sakasya sukrutam smaret.
Sakasya sukrutam smaret.
Lakshmanasya bhayeneha.
Lakshmanasya bhayeneha.
Na dharma bhayabhiruna.
Na dharma bhayabhiruna.
Adishta margitum sita.
Adishta margitum sita.
Dharmastasmin katam bhavet.
Dharmastasmin katham bhavet.
Tasmin pape kritagnetu.
Tasmin pape krutagnetu.
Smriti binne chalatmani.
Kriti bhinne chalatmani.
Aryakko vishvaj se jatu.
Aryakko vishvase jatu.
Tat kulino visheshatah.
Tatkulino visheshataha.
Rajye putram pratishtapya.
Raje putra pratishtapyah.
Putram saguno nirguno piva.
Saguno nirguno piva.
Katam shatrukulinam mam.
Katam shatrukulinam mam.
Sugrivo jivayishyati.
Sugrivo jivayishyati.
Hanumataha Vakyam. The words that are spoken by Hanuman, Prashritam, praiseworthy, Dharma Sangyitam, very well known with his virtuous, Shrutva, having listened, and those words were Swami Satkara Samyuktam. They are all meant for definitely praising Sugriva for his, he being his own king. Angadaha Vakyam Abriveed. Now Angada in return replied to him, Stairyam Atmanaha Atma Mana Shaucham Andrushamsyam Ata Arjavam Vikramaha Dhairyam Sugrive no Papadyate. You think of him as a great person. He doesn't have any stability. And Asmastairyam Manashaucham Atma Manaha Shaucham, body, mental purity, Andrushamsyam. So Andrushamsya is evil. Andrushamsya means absence of evil. Arjavam, straightforwardness. Vikramaha, valor. Dhairyam, strength. These are all not in Sugriva. None of this. He was a darpok running all over the place because of Vali. Do you think he has any kind of physical strength or mental strength? Also, purity? Definitely not. Viryam? Definitely not. And Arjavam, straightforward? No, because see how he used Rama to hide and hit him, hit my father. How can he be straightforward? He came, challenged, got completely killed. I mean, almost killed. Then what did he do? He made Rama to go to the hideout and kill my father. How can he be straightforward? So you think that he has all these qualities, you are praising him. Now, one more thing he did was, Jivataha, while living, while my father was alive, what he did, he Bratuhu Jeshtasya Yo Bharya, the wife of the elder brother, Dharmena Matar. By morality, she should be treated as the mother. Priyam Mahishim Yo Bharya, Valinaha, Valinaha. So Valinaha, my father's wife, which is my mother, should be treated by him as elder's wife is mother only. Jugupchitaha yaha swikarodi. He secretly had made her as his wife while Vali was living itself. See, when he was, thinking that Vali is dead, and he closed that door of the opening of the cave also. After that, what he did, he came back and started to rule. Katam sa dharma janite. How do you think he knows dharma? Ena brata duratmana yuddhaya abhiyuktena vilasya pihitam moham. Whose brother, this fellow is a duratman. Duratmana guhaya abhinivrittena vilasya pihitam moham. Bratra means should not be taken the other way around. Bratra yuddhaya abhiniyuktena duratmana bhitam muham, vilasya bhitam muham. That way. By the brother, when it is he went to fight with a war, this one, this evil one, he went and closed the very cave also. So how can you think he is a person of dharma? And satyat panigrihidasya kritakarma mahayashaha vismrutaha. While he actually shook hands, panigrihastha kritaha, kritakarma mahayashaha Raghavaha. What is done by Raghava, the one Raghava who had kritakarma, one who had done what he wanted. Panigrihitaha, one with whom he has shaken hands. Mahayashaha, one who is of great fame. And that Rama, he just conveniently forgot. Saha kasya sukrutam smared. How can you consider that as, how can anybody, who has done good deed, how can you forgive and not remember a person? Sukrutam yena, by whom Sukrutam is completely done. Kasya nasmaret. How can you not remember him? Now you see why he actually is interested in finding out Sita. Do you know? Na adharma bhaya biryuna. He is not a person who is sensitive about dharma. Na adharma bhaya birita. Lakshmanasya bhayen is because he is afraid of Lakshmana. Rama did not come there. to threaten him. Lakshmana came. So out of fear for Lakshmana, Lakshmanasa bayena iha Sita margidum adishta. So we are all being commanded by him. Sita margidum adishtaha. We are all being sent for looking for Sita because of fear of Lakshmana, not fear of morality. Tasmin dharma katam bhavet. How such a person has any kind of virtue. And tasmin, in him, pape kritagne, one who is evil, sinful, and one who does not have any gratitude, ingratitude to smriti binne, one who really conveniently forgotten what he has to do. Chalatmani, one in who is full of fickleness. Kaha aryaha, which noble person Vishwaset will trust. Vishwasam kuryat. Jatu, indeed, tat kulinaha visheshada, especially those who are of his own clan. How can anybody who is noble will have a trust on him, one who is evil, etc.? Whether he is sagunaha, nirgunaha, whatever it is a man of virtue or man of no virtues, whatever it be, Rajye Putram Pradishtapya, having installed, we said that he will install me as the king, right? Rajye Putram Pradishtapya, me, think about me, who Shatrukulinam Kadam Mam, having me installed as the king. Who am I? His own Shatru's son. Shatrukulina Hamam Katam Sugriva Jiva Shishyati. How will he otherwise? How will he survive, or how will he make me survive? Do you think that he will be very happy to keep me on the throne, who is son of his absolute enemy? For how many years he has been inimical to my father? All these are all, you're thinking that, but it's not going to happen. I don't think. So this is the conclusion Angada has. So again, continuing, Binnamantro paradhascha.
Binnamantro paradascha.
Binnashakti katam yaham.
Binnashakti katam yaham.
Kishkindam prapya jiveyam.
Kishkindham prapya jiveyam.
Anata iva jiveyam. Anata iva durbalaha.
Anatha iva durbalaha.
Upamshu dandena himam.
Upamshu dandena himam.
Bandhane nopapadayet.
Bandhane nopapadayet.
Shatakruro nushamsascha.
Shatakruro nrushamsascha.
Sugrivo rajyakaranat.
Sugrivo rajyakaranat.
Bandhanacha savadanme.
Bandhanacha vasadanme.
Shreya prayopaveshanam.
Shreya prayopaveshanam.
Anujanantu mam sarve.
Anujanantu mam sarve.
Griham gacchantu vanaraha.
Gruham gacchantu vanaraha.
Aham vaha pratijanami.
Aham vaha pratijanami.
Nagamishyamyaham purim.
Nagamishyamyaham purim.
Ihaiva prayavasishye.
Ihaiva prayamatishye.
Shreyo maranameva me.
Shreyo maranameva me.
Abhivadana purvam tu.
Abhivadana purvam tu.
Raja kushalameva cha.
Raja kushalameva cha.
Abhivadana purvam tu.
Abhivadana purvam tu.
Raghavo balashalinau.
Raghavau balashalinau.
Vachastato yaviyanme
Vachyastato yaviyanme.
Sugrivo vanareshwaraha
Sugrivo vanareshwaraha.
Arogyapurvam kushalam
Arogyapurvam kushalam.
Vachyamata rumachame
Vachyamata rumachame.
Madaram chaiva metaram
Mataram chaiva metaram.
Ashvasayedumarhasa arhata
Ashvasayitumarhatha.
Prakritya priyaputrasa
Prakritya priyaputrasa.
Sanukrosha tapasvini
Sanukrosha tapasvini.
Vinashtamiha mam shrutva
Vinashtamiha mam shrutva.
Yaktam hasyati jivitam.
Vyaktam hasyati jivitam.
Binna mantraha, binna means broken. With my uh, with my very venture having been broken, meaning I could not complete my task. My plan is broken. Mantra here also means my venture or plan. Aparadhascha, blundered. Binna shaktihi. Obviously, when I go back, I cannot proudly go there. I will be so weak. Katam hi aham Kishkindam prapya. How I, having reached Kishkinda, jive. How will he further survive? Anata eva durbalah. Me, the weakling, like a forlorn, I cannot live anymore with my face showing up to my people. And upamshu dandena hi mam bandhanena upapadiyet. He may not probably kill me. Probably. Because my mother would not allow. But he will secretly confine me. Upamshu means in private. Dandena, with punishment. He mam bandhanena upapadiyet. He will keep me in captivity. Shataha. Such a fraud, deceitful, kruraha, evil, nrishamsaha, wicked, sugrivaha. For what? Rajyakaranat. Because he is still the ruler. He would not easily give up that thing for me, who was failure, was not kept his word, blundered, committed, not completed the task. And how can he, after going back, and he will make me a king? What are you saying? How can a failure can be a king? In what way I will qualify for this? So bandhana cha avasadan ane shreya. So therefore, this kind of a private confinement or punishment of killing, prayopaveshanam shreshtaha, shreya. It's better that I fast until death. So let all the people who want to go back, let them go back. Anujanantu mam, may they all bid farewell to me. Then sarve griham gacchantu vanaraha. Let them all go to their houses. I have no problem with that, but I cannot. So now I'll tell you, vaha pradijanami aham. So to all I will better tell you, vaha means tubhyam. Na gamishyami aham puri. I am not going back to the city. Iheva prayam asishye. I am sitting to fast until death. Maranameva shreyaha me. Death alone is best for me. See, this defeatist mentality often people have about not accomplishing their own tasks. In today's world, what we find is many of the youngsters, they think that whatever they do, whichever they do, they should be a success. Because from the very early stage, the parents, I will squarely blame the parents. They say, oh, it's okay, Even the last rank a person gets, last, oh great, you got C, you see. One boy came home and said, my report card is wet. Wet? Yeah, everything is under C. So, you can make it. Your father could do it. Why not you can? He was also like that in school, But he made it. So you can. So this way, I mean, no, encouraging is, but that fellow says, so I don't need to prove myself. Why should I? There's no need. And thus, therefore, from the very early stage of life, whatever you do is okay. And there such people are, said to be incompetent. On the one hand, this is the one extreme side I'm talking about. Other side is what the Indian parents are. My God, they will not allow the boy to remain as boy or a girl. Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. You see, you and the next neighbor, your friend, my friend's son, go to the, what do you call that? AP class, that class, this class. My. One family was living in a particular city, little far off from here. Conveniently, they were living. And there is a school here nearby, which is very competitive school. The whole family moved, keeping that house there, took a small little chota apartment. For the past 2-3 years, they are living in such a confinement, so to say, because the boy has to go to the local school. Because that is the advanced classes. Because from that house to come here, it will take an hour or two. So decided, go here. Everybody chota. Why? No doubt compromise is necessary for different reasons. But such kind of force, and some of the children come and tell me, Swamiji, I have to get up at 5 o'clock because I have to catch the bus, which comes all the way, going all around the place and comes to this school, this particular same school. What is it called? Troy, something like that. Troy, Troy school. And that school, so the fellow has to get up at 5 o'clock and get up ready, and then 5:30, and then school starts, 0 hour starts around 6:30 or whatever. And then the boy returns home only by around 4:35 or so. He says, Swamiji, as soon as I come back, I just sleep. So tired, 12 hours, more than 12 hours of away. And then I get up at around 7:30, 8 o'clock, take my lunch, dinner, and work up to 2 o'clock. Then again, go to sleep and get up at 5 o'clock. A fellow is really tortured. But, so parents would say, you have to do this. If you want to go to that Stanford, you have to go to that, and Berkeley, this, that. So children are waiting to get off. What happens is, the education has become a torture nowadays. It is not a joy of learning. It's become such a competitive environment, unfortunately. And so there is definitely so much of torture that goes on. And such a boy or girl think failure means death. That much they are threatened. So they cannot face failures. They cannot face disappointments. They cannot face denial. They do not know how to face what non-acceptance. So that is what somebody said, millennials are such weaklings. Commitment, suicidal tendencies are so high. Why depression is so high in this part of the world? Tell me. Because facing the failure is not even in their agenda. Something that they want to do, they have to accomplish. If they don't accomplish, it is not worth living. This kind of an attitude always keeps your, at the back of your mind, there is constant fear goes on. There is no joy of doing things. And in the working world also, it is like that. Everybody is threatened about the quarter. This quarter you have to accomplish. Poor fellow, not, he's drinking quarter on quarter only. Because the quarter I have to finish. No, I cannot finish. There's one more quarter. This is what happens. And then obviously they become addicted to this and that. Now the marijuana and other things are also legal. So you can get it anywhere you want. And that makes you more dull, more weak, physically, mentally. So what to do? So this Angada also feels that if I cannot go back, impossible. I am not going. Nagamishyame ahampurim. I will die. Shreyaha maranam. So now you please, when you go back, it tells Hanumanji, when you go back, you have to inform everybody that I am dead. By the time you reach there, I would have been dead. But you have to first salute to others and then tell. Abhivadana purvam tu Raja kushalame vacha abhivadana purvam tu ragavo balashalino. First to do the salutations to, my salutations to the king, and then salutations to both Rama and Lakshmana. Vachaha. Then it should be spoken. Vachaha vadaniyaha. Tataha, Yaviyan Tataha me, Yaviyan, younger, father of mine, Sugrivaha, Vanareshwaraha. Arogya Purvam Kushalam Vachya. First you ask, speak about his own welfare and then tell. And my mother, and which is my stepmother actually, Ruma, Vacha, Mata, Rumacha, me. To her also. And my own mother, me madaram cha eva, taram me madaram, ashva sumarata. She should be appeased slowly, be quiet. She may not survive if I say, if you say, prakritya priyaputrasa. By nature, she is so fond of me, anukrosha tapasvini, austere and very compassionate one. Mam vinashtam iha sutva. If she knows that I am dead, vyaktam, evidently, jivitam hasyati. She will give up her life. That is for sure. She will not survive. So this way, my decision is very clear. So I'm going to tell you. I mean, I've told you. So Hanumanji, he's not a person who will give up that easily. That being a leader, and he knows the potentiality of Angata. So this way, Hanumanji, having explained all these things, and Angada has denied his request, all this is going on. So at this point, eva muktva vachanam.
Eva muktva vachanam.
Etavaduktva vachanam.
Etavaduktva vachanam.
Vruddham stan abhivadya cha.
Vruddham stan abhivadya cha.
Vivesha changato bhumau.
Vivesha changado bhumau.
Rudan darbeshu durmukaha.
Rudan darbeshu durmukam.
Durmukaha. Okay. Tasya samvishadastatra.
Tasya samvishatastatra.
Rudanto vanararshabhaha.
Rudanto vanararshabhaha.
Nayanebhya pramumuchuhu.
Nayanebhya pramumuchuhu.
Ushnam vai varidukkitaha.
Ushnam vai varidukkitaha.
Sugrivam chaiva nindantaha.
सुग्रीवं चैव निन्दन्तः
प्रशंसन्तश्च वालिनं
प्रशंसन्तश्च वालिनं
परिवार्याङ्गदं सर्वे
परिवार्याङ्गदं सर्वे
व्यसन् प्रायमासितुम्
व्यवसन् प्रायमासितुम्
व्यवसन् okay. तद्वाक्यं वालिपुत्रस्य
तद्वाक्यं वालिपुत्रस्य
विज्ञाय प्लवगर्षभाः
विज्ञाय प्लवगर्षभाः
उपस्पृश्योदकं सर्वे
उपस्पृश्योदकं सर्वे
प्राङ्मुखा समुपाविशन्
प्राङ्मुखा समुपाविशन्
दक्षिणाग्रेषु दर्भेषु
दक्षिणाग्रेषु दर्भेषु
उदक्तीरं समाश्रिताः
उदक्तीरं समाश्रिताः
मुमूर्षवो हरिश्रेष्ठाः
मुमूर्षवो हरिश्रेष्ठाः
एतत् क्षमम् इति स्मः
एतत् क्षममिति स्मः
रामस्य वनवासं च
रामस्य वनवासं च
क्षयं दशरथस्य च
क्षयं दशरथस्य च
जनस्थानवधं चैव
जनस्थानवधं चैव
वधं चैव जटायुधः
वधं चैव
जटायुषः
जटायुषः
हरणं चैव वैदेह्या
हरणं चैव वैदेह्या
वालिनश्च वधं तथा
वालिनश्च वधं तथा
रामकोपं च वदताम्
रामकोपं च वदताम्
हरीणां भयमागतं
हरीणां भयमागतं
ससंविशद्भिः बहुभिर्महीधरो
संविशद्भिर्बहुभिर्महीधरो
कूटप्रतिमै प्लवङ्गमै महाद्रिकूटप्रतिमै प्लवङ्गमैः
महाद्रिकूटप्रतिमै प्लवङ्गमैः
बभूव सन्नादितनिर्धरान्तरो
बभूव सन्नादितनिर्धरान्तरो
वृषं न तद्भिः जलदैरिवाम्बरम्
वृषं जलदैरिवाम्बरम्
Good. Etavat, in this way, uktva vachanam, having spoken, to vruddhan, those tan, viruddhan, abhivadyacha, having saluted all of them, having spoken this, angataha vivesha bhumau. Bhumau darbeshu, in the, he has kept the darbas on the bhumi, in that very darba means the grass, and durmukaha, with his face as becoming so swollen, so gone out of his usual brightness and valor. Tasya samvitaha, as he upon his, while he was thus entering in that, tatra, there, Vanara Rishubhaha, all the most valiant, powerful Vanaras, Rudantaha, they also crying, Nayanebhyaha pramumuchuhu, from their eyes, they shed the tears, Ushnam, Ushnam mumuchuhu, Ushnam vari, Dukkitaha. So it is said that when the tears that come out of your eyes are hot, that means you are crying out of anguish, sorrow, unhappiness, distress. But if the same tears are cold, then you are anand. So next time when you cry, please check that. Hot, that means out of sadness. And sometimes when you remember Bhagavan, remember a joyful tears, then you touch. It will be at least few degrees cold. So that shows that you are Anand Vari, then it is. So, Sugrivam Nindantaha. Now they have an occasion to even scold Sugriva Prashamsantaha Balinam. They are all very devoted to Vali, so they praised Vali at this point. And Sarve Angadam Parivarya, surrounding Parivarya, Angadam, Vyavasan, becoming, they should, Prayamasitum Vyavasan. They sat down for the sake of the fast until death. So, Valiputrasya Vakyam Vijnaya, remembering, reflecting, Plavagashabhaha, thinking about what what Angada has already spoken, Valiputraha. So, Upasparshuhu Udagam Sarve. They took the last sip of water, that is to start off the fasting. Upasparshuhu Udagam Sarve. Prangmukhaha, facing the east. Samyak Upavishan, they all sat down. And Darbeshu Dakshana Agreshu. Darbeshu Agreshu Dakshina. So while the grass, the point of the grass facing the south. So this is said to be the procedure. Because south is Yama, as you all know. The south, according to the Vastu Shastra, southern direction is ruled by Yama, the Lord of Death. And east, southeast actually is, southeast is fire. So as you know, north is Kubera, northeast is Ishana, east is Indra, southeast is Agni, south is Yama, southwest is Nritti, west is Varuna, northwest is Vayu. This is considered as the 8 deities ruling the directions according to Vastu. So south being Yama, that is what they actually were facing. The Darba that is facing is to be in the south, while they sit and face east, which means southeast. Now, when they are facing the east, it is said that they are ready to burn themselves, that is fire. So that is what is the procedure there. Where they were sitting, Udagat Tiram Samashridaha. They are on the very coast of the ocean. Because that is the last point they could reach. Then Sugrivaha, Mumurshuhu, Mumurshavaha. Mumurshu means Martumichuhu, Mumurshuhu, Martumichu, Mumurshavaha, plural. So Mumukshavaha, Guravaha. Mumurshavaha, Harishreshtaha, the best of the monkeys. Edakshamabidismaha. This is what is correct to do for us. So then, as the last part of their, existence in this world, they started to think about the whole thing that has led to this. But we are all here dying for somebody's mistake somewhere. Yeah. The world is so cruel, We have not done anything really. But it is Rama went to forest. What have we got to do with that? Rama went to forest. And Dasharatha gave word to Kaikeyi. Who let him let X give to Y, Y give to X? Why are we suffering? This is is unintelligent, but at the same time, that is what the world is all about. Russia is attacking Ukraine. Why are we paying $7 for the petrol? I don't understand that point. इसमें क्या logic है? Let the X fight with Y. Why am I paying X? My spending is increased. This is what the world is today. We have no relevance. What America has got to do with this? I don't understand. Let A fight with B. So what? Let them fight. It is their problem. If neighbor fights, why should I fast? Does it have any meaning at all? Why should I suffer? But today's world is like that. Everything is so interconnected. Not interconnected in that in the higher sense. All the self, all human, all the souls are connected to the Brahman. That is I understand. But here it is, everyday life is dictated by somebody's thinking. If somebody makes a statement, we suffer. This is totally unintelligent way of doing things. And somebody dictate the course of the world. One country dictating the course of the world is most unacceptable, way of living. Every being is independent. Every country should be independent about their own economy. If they are depending upon somebody else for their survival constantly, then it is not even considered as a sovereign country. Cannot be. My own resources I cannot use because somebody is fighting with somebody. Anyway, so here is Ramasya Vanavasa. Dasharathasya Kshayam. A king died. So, what am I got to do with that? And Janmasthana Badam, and then Janmasthane, and then those two, Kara and Doshana, were killed. All right. Jatayushaha Vadam. Okay. That is also happened. Then Vaidehya Aranam. So Sita has been kidnapped. Now comes closer to home. Valinascha Vadam. Now Vali is killed. The Ramasya Kobam. Rama became. So now we are all afraid that Ravanasya Kobam Vadatam Harinam Bayamagatam Vadatam. So this way they were Vadatam, while they are speaking, Harinam Bayamagatam, how we are all now we are living in fear. This way they were all talking about it. Saha Sambishadbihi Bahubihi Mahidaraha, as they are sitting down and talking about it. They are all sitting in the mountain which is close, Vindhya mountains, closer to the ocean. And Mahad Adri Kuta Pratimaihi Plavangamaihi, by those people, by those monkeys who are equal to that of looking like a huge mountains, each one of them themselves. Adri means mountain. Sheshadri. Adri means Sheshadri. The Sheshadri is the mountain of Shesha. It's called Sheshadri. Adri. You know the word Adri means mountain there. So Mahadri Kuta. The mountain peaks, they are looking like that of Pradimaihi, Plavangamaihi, Sambadida, as they were talking. And this very speaking and crying, what happens is it appears like Nirdharantaro Sambaditaha Babuva. Samnaditaha. So it is there, as they were crying, the nearby mountains where they had the caves, it appeared like it is resounding through the caves. It is as though the sound is coming from the caves. Because they themselves are like mountains, and then when they are crying, it is coming out, so like resounding from a cave. That's what it means. Their mouths were looking like a cave, maybe. So it is sounding like that. Brisham, pretty much. Natadbihi Jalajaihi Iva Ambaram, like that of the rainy clouds when they hit each other, when they make thunder, how that sound is so resounding everywhere. In the same way, these sound that was coming by, made by these huge mountain-like vanaras, they were resounding that as though coming from the caves. Now is the interesting part. Now a twist has to happen in any story. There must be twist. When Guruji was handling this, Ramayana Saundaryam, he was beautiful introduction he gave. A story must have twists, otherwise it would not interest you. So many twists. Like Rama was ready to get married, twist. Rama was before that Rama was very happily living as a prince, not as a king, son of Dasharatha. Vishwamitra came, twist. Then afterwards, there he did not go for Sita's marriage. He just went there and he was pulled to break the bow, twist. Then he came back. Okay, he was going to become what you call enshrined as, or to be appointed as the king. Everything was going well. Kaikeyi, twist. Then Kaikeyi thought Bharata will be the king. He came and then nothing doing, twist. The Bharata went to Rama saying that I will bring Rama, but he said, no, I'm not, twist. So, you don't expect what to happen. Suddenly something differently happens. Then they were living in the forest, and then Shurpanaka coming, and then Ravana coming and taking, that's the twist. And they do not know where to go. Meeting Sugriva is another twist. It went on like that. So now they are ready to get killed. Finally, the Sita is not found. Now what do? We'll die. And there comes a twist. So in life, the twists are to happen. Then only it's interesting. So next, what happens, that we'll see. Ityarshe Srimad Ramayana Valmiki Adikavye Kishkindha Kande Pancha Panchashaha Sargaha 55. So it's going to chant.
Aganita Gunagana Bhushana Rama Ashrita Vatsala Jaya Jaya Rama Ayodhya Vasi Sita Rama Abad Bandhava Jaya Jaya Rama Dasharatha Nandana Shri Rama Dashamukha Madhana Jaya Jaya Rama Kausalya Sukhavardhana Rama Kamita Paladha Jaya Jaya Rama Papa Vimochana Shri Rama Pattabhirama Jaya Jaya Rama Janaki Jivana Sita Rama Jaya Raghu Rama Jaya Siya Rama Vanarasevita Shri Rama Varidhi Vandana Jaya Jaya Rama Hanumat Pujita Sita Rama Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Raghupati Raghava Raja Rama Patita Pavana Sita Rama Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Siyavara Ramachandra ki jai Pavan Sutta Hanuman ki jai Umapati Mahadev ki jai Bolo Bhai Sab Santan ki jai Sadgurunath Maharaj ki jai.